Welcome to Awake and Activate. Welcome to this episode of Awake and Activate. Home cooking, the perfect turkey every time. Okay, I think we're live. I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. Okay. We're going to make the perfect turkey that comes out perfect every single time. So there's nothing to worry about here. I have completely thawed out my bird, and that is important. Make sure that your turkey is completely thawed out. I thaw mine out in the sink. This time, as I'm washing my hands, since we're messing with bird, I will be using my hand soap quite a bit because, like we talked about before, cross-contamination. First thing I want to do is I want to set my oven so it'll start preheating at 350 degrees, but checking to make sure that my racks, which are not, they're set in the right spot. Oops. To be able to have my bird sit in there and then hit start. So that part is done. I like to use these throwaway containers. They're very inexpensive and makes life really easy. And to make the perfect turkey every single time, I use the bag. Reynolds kitchen bags. This will fit a turkey from 8 pounds up to 24 pounds. My hands a good washing. Now I use real butter. So while we're doing this, I take one of these sticks, which is 4 tablespoons, and I go ahead and put it in my pan here and allow it to start to melt. Now I cut my turkey out of all of his little netting and get him out, get him ready. You also, before I even put my bird in here, I scrub my sink out very well. So my turkey is in a clean area of the sink. Okay, and we want to take the gizzards out. You're going to find them on both ends. This is actually helping with the gravy. And I wash my bird a lot. In the neck area, you'll find your gizzards. Okay. Well, I am thawing the gizzards that are the neck and things like that that are still in there. I'm going to go ahead and begin prepping my bag. You need flour. Definitely you need flour. Not too much. About a tablespoon will do it. You put it in your bag. And close it up. And you want to shake it around in there. Pretty much coating the inside of the bag. This helps the turkey not to stick to the bag. We don't want beef turkey sticking to the bag. Mm-mm. Can everybody hear me okay? I can't see the chat because I'm working here, I'm working. Make some muscles here a little bit. My butter's melted, so I turn that off. I flip my bird. Every time I handle my bird, I'm washing my hands. Okay, well that neck is still working on coming out. Turning my water on cool. And now I've got celery. So I take a couple stalks off the celery. And I wash it real good. And then remember about the really sharp knives. Make sure you got nice sharp knives. And the celery here, I'm cutting this because it is what our turkey is going to be sitting on. So it is not touching the bag on the bottom. So I just take my turkey sticks and I lay them on the bottom. Back to my bird. in the garbage. And finally, the neck comes out. Fantastic. This particular bird has one of those red pop-outs on it. A lot of times they don't. So I'm going to show you how to check the temperature to make sure that your bird is cooked all the way through. It takes approximately 15 minutes per pound. So this guy's going to take about 4 hours to cook. Okay, my bird is now in my bag with plenty of room to spare. Okay, my butter. I get just a little, you can use a small measuring cup or whatever, you know, you want to. But I drizzle the butter over the top of my bird, and I pour the rest on the inside of my bird. And then I just gently kind of just give them a little bit of a massage, tuck in the neck. So the butter is all over my bird. My water is hot, hot, hot. I know now a lot of people do things differently in the kitchen. I'm one of those that cleans my kitchen before I start, and I'm constantly cleaning my kitchen as I am going. So, okay, next, I got myself 2 red apples. I got smaller apples because I got a smaller bird. So depending on your bird size will depend on what size apple that you will want. Because one, we just wash, get the stem off of it, and we put straight in the center cavity of the bird. A lot of people stuff their birds, but I'm telling you, this, by adding the apple, makes the meat turn out so tender, so juicy, and so perfect every time. We've never had a bad bird. You can stuff your bird if you like, but I'm going to explain in a little bit on why I don't when I show you a little trick on how I make my gravy so it's not really salty. So now the second apple I cut up. So then more of the flavoring goes through the bird. just chop it up. It doesn't matter if it's big chunks, little chunks. It's just going into the center of the bird, and it's just for flavoring, so no worries. I hope everybody can see and hear me okay. This is so easy. I also wanted to mention the chili ended up feeding approximately 25 servings, depending on the size of the person, because we did have a few children. And all of those ingredients were under $20. So, and what we're making here, we're looking at possibly 16 to 18 people. And it was $30, and that was with stuffing, gravy, and rolls and other niceties. So when you think about it, cooking from home is really good on your budget, and you know what's going in your family's body. And you cook with love, and it's very meditative and soothing to cook. It's wonderful. I love to do it when my body's physically able to. I love to cook for my family. And, you know, a lot of these recipes that I have, when I come up with on my own and through trial and error, I've learned. I don't think I've had many errors though. So, but this trick I learned that I'm showing you now, I learned while I was working at Western Sizzlin', which is a steakhouse that was in Oklahoma, and we had Thanksgiving that we did for thousands of people. So we took shifts coming in and out all night long making turkeys, and all of them turned out fantastic. Okay, I've got some Lowry seasoned salt, a little bit of onion powder, garlic powder. Love my garlic powder. Garlic pepper. Salt and pepper. But instead of using the salt, I'm going to use ormus. I don't know, I haven't seen much from her in a while, but T. Taylor makes this, and a little dab goes a long ways. So instead of the salt, we're going to use ormus. Okay. So with the garlic powder, just a little bit, and more in the center towards where we put our apples. Lowry's, I'm a little more generous with it because it helps like a crust type on the skin, and it makes it taste so much yummier. A little bit of onion powder, or you could chop up some fresh onion. Oh, I wasn't done with my chopper. I want to put some celery also in the middle, and then now I'm putting garlic pepper. Garlic pepper. You know, garlic is so good for us. She gives us these cute little scoopers. This ormus has lasted me forever. Since she sent it to me, I mean, I still have it. Okay. Gotta be able to see which side's got the opening. That helps. Just a little bit of ormus goes a long way. And it's really good for you. But if you don't have ormus, use salt. Okay, let me get another cooking or cutting, because I do want to put some celery inside my burger. Water. Do one more. Celery is an excellent source of fiber. You know, with the excess celery, when you make your veggie trays or your salad, you can take the celery and cut it into, you know, little, I don't know, maybe 4-inch size. Smear some peanut butter inside of them and put raisins on top of the peanut butter. And it's called ants on a log. And they also look really cute on your veggie tray. And kids will eat them because they're so cute. So if you want to get some good stuff into your children's mouths, that is definitely the way to go. The cuter it looks, the more they'll eat it. Okay, so now I'm going to put my celery in with my apples inside my bird. Okay. All right, so that's it for preparing our bird. Now what we're going to do, since he's all ready to go, this one, like I said, came with the red popper. So when this little popper comes out, I don't know if you can see it. There's a little red popper. That tells you when your turkey's done. So you'll want that to be facing out when you are putting him in the oven. So that way when you turn your oven light on or you peek in, when you see that popper pop out, you know your bird is done. The last thing we need to do is you cut a few holes. Just for a little bit of ventilation. Check the time. 1:46. So it looks like we'll be back live at, I'd say, 4-ish. And we'll finish up with how to carve our bird and the gravy and yeah, what we're coming up with. Enjoy your Thanksgiving dinner. And honey, come put the bird in the oven. He's ready. So let me go over the ingredients again. Very simple. Garlic powder, Lowry seasoning, excuse me, garlic pepper. I used ormus instead of salt, but you could use salt. I use garlic pepper. I forgot to put the pepper on it, but it's going to be fine because it's really flavored. Okay, the popper's here, honey, so I need it slid in sideways with the popper side out. Is it off? It doesn't need to be off. Is there anybody even talking? Oh, hi, I can't see the chat, so. Oh, he doesn't want to be in the shot. You are such a big dude. That side off. Okay. Fine. Perfect. All right. I'm going to clean up my mess, and we will be back for part 2 with making the gravy, giving you some options, and some tips on what I do to make it less salty, a little more palatable. So it'll make that your Thanksgiving dinner even that much better. And I'm going to show you this turkey's going to be absolutely amazing. And it should feed, I would say, about 20 people. So see you guys in a little bit. Peace. I love you. Here are the cooking instructions based on, how much your turkey weighs, if it's bone in, bone out. And so it just kind of gives you, like we did the turkey, the full turkey. So it was preheat your oven to 350 degrees, 1 tablespoon of flour with vegetable oil or butter, season as desired, close bag. And then we are looking at, for every pound, approximately 15 minutes or a little less. Some turkeys have that little red popper that lets you know when it's done. If not, I'm going to show you a meat thermometer where you can test your turkey to see if it is finished. So let's go on with the next section. We're jumping ahead in time. When we were going live, part 2 was sideways. So we're going to skip right on to part 3. Is I did repeat most of what I said. The only thing that you're going to miss is me opening up, and cutting open the bag. Now remember that before putting your turkey in the oven, to ventilate the bag, cut a few little holes in the bag so that way it's got good ventilation, so the bag does not stick to your turkey. That's why we use the flour, and I use actual butter and give them a good rub down, and then all the spices and everything stick and look just like this. So here's the third, we're going to call it the second part of the live stream, showing you the finishings and giving you some tips on how to make your Thanksgiving just that much better. Does that give them a better view? Let me check this. I knew what my cornstarch was, I'd thicken that up, but actually since what I'm using it for, it's better for it to be thin. The reason that I saw some questions in the first stream, the reason that I'm doing this is so people can learn how to make their own at home. And this year, usually every year we have Thanksgiving at our house. And they do all the cooking and everything, and the family all gathers here. After what happened with my daughter, we're going to go to my mom's this year. Just a change of venue. Just, you know, and I'm sure you guys completely understand. But in the meantime, I'm making you guys a turkey that is so simple and it turns out perfect every time that you can make at home for your family. And you find that it's so much more cost effective to make this for yourself, feeding your family with ingredients that you know that you put in there makes a huge difference. Plus, whenever you cook with love. Oh, this looks so good. Oh my gosh. I don't know if we're going to be able to wait for Ubu to get off work.
Mhm.
Joe. Now it's for you, Go-Kart Bob. Not Dan. Remember, you met him in Washington.
Doesn't matter what you call me as long as you don't call me late for dinner.
Yeah, you won't be late for dinner. He wasn't late for chili night. We keep our white meat and our dark meat separated because some people just don't like dark meat and some people just don't like white meat. So and the breast is all white meat, the thigh is dark meat. Of course, I'm sure you guys already know this. Wings are dark meat and legs are dark meat. But the breasts are the biggest part of the turkey. So you pretty much get a 50-50 with all of the different white meat and dark meat. Oh yeah. Yummy. Oh, it smells so good. This is going to be a short one because I'm just basically showing you some simple carving techniques to get the most out of your bird. And don't forget, there's a wishbone in here. But yeah, this gives you guys a couple weeks to know what to buy, what you want to season it with, and do it yourself. Now we got a leg and a thigh. This is all dark meat. This is all white meat. Now that I've lightened it up a little bit, what I do is I take the drippings and I use them in my stuffing and in my gravy. So if your stuffing asks for, you know, a certain amount of water, instead of water, replace like 1/3 of that with the drippings. The reason we really don't want a whole lot of drippings inside the meat and why I'm going to use that gravy packet is because the drippings gel up and then it makes like this like jelly around the meat, and personally I don't like it. So you know, I'm going to use the packet that they gave us. One trick I want to share with you is I mix my my turkey gravy with chicken gravy. And the reason that I do that is turkey can be very salty, you know, the gravy, and by putting the apple inside of our turkey the way we did, it actually puts a little more sweetness to it and takes out a lot of that real salty taste in turkey. So that helps with flavoring the meat. So I also do the same with my stuffing, but what I do is I cut it with chicken gravy. So if you use the drippings, which you can use the turkey drippings with some cornstarch. Get yourself some chicken bouillon and add some water with the chicken bouillon and with the cornstarch, and use your whisk and simmer it until it gets to a nice consistency. If it doesn't thicken up, add a little more cornstarch to it. But just adding chicken gravy to it, it makes a world of difference. And I think that's why everybody ended up coming to my house every year after that for Thanksgiving dinner and for Christmas dinner. And actually Easter dinner. I got them all. So we just about got all our white meat cut up. Besides what's still on the bird, of course. But I'm not going to put you through that. I just want to show the cutting up the thigh and deboning it. Now the leg and the wing I leave whole. Somebody may just want the whole turkey leg, so then they can have that option. But I put that in a separate container. This is all boneless and it's separated. I'll put my white meat and then I'll put my dark meat. So how many of you guys are coming for dinner? We're gonna have stovetop stuffing is what I use. I like to use, and I mix turkey and chicken of the stuffing. And I also, like I said, with the gravy, do the same. Did I say stovetop? Oh my gosh. Craft. Some things will never change in my mind. Okay, now we've got the turkey leg. You just kind of follow it along so that it just breaks off nice and easy for you. That's why you need really good carving knives. And we're going to debone the thigh. Sorry about the hammering. I think my neighbors are building something over there. Hopefully I've made this instructional enough, and just like I did with the chili, I will put all of the ingredients and everything that is needed and used in the description box so you can make your own. Remember, it's 15 minutes a pound, or when the popper pops, or when the temperature hits over 165. If you can stick the poker needs to go all the way in to the very center, and then from there, if it's 165 or higher, your bird is done. So if you don't have one of those red poppers, just stick the thermometer in and you're fine. A lot of people will boil the gizzards and things like that, and I'm not much for that. So I do cook them, but I give them to the dogs. Part of their Thanksgiving. Plus all the leftovers off the plate. They're in total heaven. And there's our wing. And so I've got my turkey drippings that I will be using in my stuffing and in my gravy. And this was the packet that came in with the turkey. This is really full. This bird's gonna actually probably feed more than I thought. I think I said between 18 and 20, but we may get a little bit more servings out of it. So there's quite a bit of meat on there. And I just drizzle this over to keep it nice and moist. Set your oven at 200 degrees. Cover this with foil, nice and tight. Because while you're making all your sides, a lot of times I make my sides while my turkey is sitting for the 20 minutes, but my son's not going to be here for an hour and a half. And anybody that knows that stuffing dries up really quick. But I do mix one of each, one turkey, one chicken. Makes a huge difference. Unless you like it super salty, that's fine. Cook it the way you like it. I was just trying to give you an example of how to make a turkey at home with love for, Thanksgiving is a day of gratitude. It's to be thankful for our family, for you guys, for our loved ones, for God Almighty, whom without we wouldn't have our very being, and everything in between. I love you guys so much. And the ingredients will be in the number 1. I will list out all the ingredients I use to prepare the bird. And then in number 2, I will put on this one, number 3, I will put how long it cooked for, what the temperature is you need to check for if you're using the thermometer and your turkey doesn't have a popper. And then you just see how I covered it with, you can use some turkey drippings, very light turkey drippings, or add some warm water to some turkey drippings, so that way to keep the meat moist. But I'll put that in number 3. And then, you know, make all the rest of your dinner and enjoy your Thanksgiving. I hope this was helpful to you guys. I love you all. Have yourself a wonderful night. Peace.
Since I cut out part 2, I just wanted to add in here that while the turkey is still closed up in the bag, you can check the popper to make sure it's popped out, or take your meat thermometer, stab it right through the bag into the center of your bird, and check that the temperature is 170 degrees or above. And then you know that your turkey is completely cooked. Let it sit for about 20 minutes, and then you're ready to go with cutting it open, beginning to carve it, and preparing your gravies, and stuffing is very quick. But all your other sides, while your turkey is sitting for the 20 minutes, can be prepared at that time. I actually cook for 2 days when I am making Thanksgiving dinner. My son said something very interesting when he came over for supper tonight. And he said that he noticed when I was making the chili and when I was making the turkey that all day long, as I am cooking and preparing, I am thinking about my loved ones. So he said that he knew that he was being thought about all day long when he would pop on and see that I was live and preparing this meal. I thought that that was such a sweet thing for him to notice, and very honest and truthful. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it makes your Thanksgiving dinner that much better. And we're going to be looking at making homemade country fried steaks, meatloaves, all kinds of different items that are easy on your pocketbook, easy to fix at home. Just they look more difficult to try and get us away from processed food into home cooking. And a lot of these things, turkey, being an all-day event because it is a big holiday type meal. But these others, we're talking, preparation time, 30 minutes or less, or an hour or less. And you've got a homemade meal for your family. So I love you guys, and always share what you know and listen so we can grow. And remember, we're all in this together. We are unique, individual, one. Wrap your noodle around that. Peace. Have yourself a wonderful day. I love you.